Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. How's everybody doing this Sunday? I'm doing well. Today we are going to be making this fun scrapbook layout, a different one than I kind of normally make, but I love it. So let me share this to the group real quick. And while we're waiting, let's people tell me what you're up to today. Okay, I did it. Hi, Diana. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal location. I am live from Ohio. So I'm in a hotel. So that is why things look a little bit different. I hope it'll be fine. But like I said, we're making this scrapbook layout using the Celebratory Sips paper. Have you guys seen this collection? It is a lot of fun. Watching with the sound off and captions on. Okay. Let's see, this is an interesting one. I'm also going live on Zoom. I don't know, I'm streaming to Zoom, or actually the Zoom is watching me do the live. I'm not participating in the Zoom, but something fun and different because I normally don't go live on Saturdays. So we are in Ohio. Um, we're having my dad's celebration of life tomorrow because I am originally from Ohio and a lot of my family is here. And so we're having a big family event tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, like really all of my extended family, my cousins, and really, close family friends and such will be there tomorrow. Everybody who lives in town or nearby is coming. So, okay, just a couple things. Just a reminder that we are having the special with the buy one, get one free suite. Not, okay, it's not buy one, get one free. I misspoke. It's buy one, get one 50% off. I keep saying that because I don't know. But you buy one, get one 50% off. It's any suite or any suite product. So it has to be a product in one of the suites, not a standalone stamp set. But if it's a stamp set that's within a suite, yes, you can just buy the stamp set. You don't have to buy the whole suite. You can buy just a stamp set. You could buy just the paper. You can buy just the dies or just the embellishments, anything like that. Buy one, get one 50% off. So floral impressions, I'm going to do a live. I think when I get back from England, that's my first collection that I'm doing. Celebratory Sips, I'm doing the live right now. I really wanted to make this card. Isn't this card cool? This one, and I will make it eventually, but I really love that one. Um, Florals in Bloom. This is a really pretty set. Turtly cute. I saw some really cute Father's Day cards with that. Beautiful gallery. I've got several of those pieces. Kintsugi Inspirations. This came the day I left for Ohio. So my order came. So I haven't got to play with it, but I did get to see it in the package. I didn't unpackage it, but I got to see that. And the boho vibes. So that was, these are the two suites that I got, buy one get one 50% off. I got the whole suite. A lovely garden. These are really pretty. Botanical textures. These are the ones that have the woven, baskets and things like that. On the go. I was working on like a little small album, a brag book or something with this for my trip, but I just didn't get it designed in time. Mixed media florals, floral delight. This is the one that I did the cherry blossoms, everyday skies. And some of these I think are getting low. I know the everyday skies, there's only like maybe the paper left. And wildflower birthday. This is a really beautiful set. Storybook moments. Again, I think there's only a little bit of that collection left. Beautiful bouquet. A lot of people like that paper, the bouquet paper, and the butterflies in that. If you like that butterfly die, that's part of the buy one get one 50% off. Although I don't know if it's still in stock. Marbled elegance, utterly adorable. Country woods and unbounded beauty. Country woods is coming back, so that one should be most of it in stock. Unbounded beauty, thoughtful journey. That's those really pretty 6x6 scene papers, full of life, Mediterranean blooms. I made a really pretty sample card using that just this past week. Wildly flowering, lily pond lane, take to the sky, to market. Yeah, so that's it. So anything that's part of this collection, the whole suite, the stamps, the dies, the papers, the embellishments, those are all buy one, get one 50% off. But you want to be strategic when you place your order, because say you order a whole suite that's $72 and then you order a set of gems that are $4 or whatever, the gems are going to be the one that's 50% off that you get for $2. You know what I mean? So you probably don't want to do that. You want to get like two full suites or two paper packs or two stamp sets, or and it's in quantities of two. So you can order like four suites or four sheets of packs of paper and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's one of the specials I wanted to remind you about. And then the virtual album retreat. It looks like, let's see, it looks like they're still available. Let's see, purchase the kit. Yeah, so you could still purchase the kit. This is the set. It's called Month by Month. And you're going to make a 2-page layout for each month of the year. So it's great for like baby's first year, first year of marriage, or just your yearly scrapbook. They're all designed. They're actually all pre-cut, separated into baggies. So like this is a January set, this is a February set, and so on. So pre-cut and everything. And then the embellishments, and there's exclusive stamp sets, and exclusive paper and dies and not dies, but punch outs. Okay, so you want to get in on this. The actual virtual album retreat is July 16th through 18th. It's in a private Facebook group. And the videos will be recorded that you can watch later. So if you can't do the virtual album retreat those days, July 16th, 18th, you can go back and watch the videos later. Okay. Hi, Brian. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Hope you can join the blog cops again soon. So, okay, why don't we get started on our layout? Last week I did the card, that really fun fold card, using this, and I used the stamp set, which is here. Remember, I stamped the glasses onto the paper, this paper, to make it look like drinks. So it was really fun. And then it's got all of these um, garnishes. Aren't these so cute? Strawberry, lemon or lime, raspberry, olives, cherries. Would that be basil? Celery sticks, rosemary. I still haven't figured out for these. I think they might be lavender flowers. And then the little stick and an umbrella, ice, and then a couple sentiments. So this is a really cute set. And then there are dies to cut these out. Let's look at the papers. Well, you saw this one last week. You can use it just as background paper, but it is really great to look like drinks if you stamp on them. This is the, like, they almost look like stars. This one with the green lines, and then this is the one I used last week. I love these flowers. Let's see. I want to get this out. Here is a paper with all the garnishes on it. This is such cute background paper, but I can see some really adorable cards with this. And then I love this. I think it's Secret Sea. It's got a little bit of a pattern background. I love this Blackberry Bliss. Kind of like flowers on it, I would say. And then there's these with larger drinks. So you can cut these out, which I did here. You can see I cut like this piece out. This is a strawberry slush, polka dots. And then look at these with all of the little drinks. This is what I took advantage of for my layout. Isn't that cute? And I think that might be all the papers, because this one is a repeat. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all of them. And so the specialness of this layout is that all of this is done with just the paper. I didn't use the stamps and I didn't use the dies. So it actually was a really easy layout to take on the road because I only had to bring basically the paper. I did bring the stamp set to show you. You could do this with some of the stamps. Obviously, you would only be putting, say, one of the big drinks or something here. Like you would only be able to fit one of those in each of these. So, okay. I just thought this was fun. I wanted something a little bit fun and different for this suite. And I really wanted to take advantage of that paper with all of the little drinks on it. And so I really was looking for a layout, and I saw on Pinterest a layout with a similar design and this asymmetricalness. And I thought that would be kind of fun for this layout. So this is what I kind of came up with. Okay, so let's get started. And really, you can make this layout even if you don't have this collection, because you could put whatever. You could put, puppies here if you had like a puppy stamp, or if you had cats, or if you had flowers, or whatever. You could still do this layout. It doesn't have to be with these drinks. So Oh, this is another one of the papers that I didn't show you because it's the background. I had it set aside so I wouldn't use it on my other cards and other things. And then it's got a really pretty floral background. So I think I'm going to make these, the diagonal lines go up like this. What do you guys think? You agree with me that that's what I should do? Okay, so these are 3x4 pictures. So I cut this Blackberry Bliss 3¼ by 4¼ and I brought these 2 sheets of Blackberry Bliss, and I did calculate. I know it's enough, but now I have to remember how I calculate. I have to use this one for the 3¼ by 4¼ So let's do that. I brought my like old cutter since it was smaller. So this is the one that I don't think is very square. So my things may end up being wonky. We'll see. Okay, so I need to cut 3 of these, 3¼ by 4¼ I'm not used to this here. Okay. Okay, so I got these cut. Let me check. I think the orange is Timid Tiger. I don't have the let me see. I don't have my color swatches since I'm out of town, but let's see if it says on here. Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath, Cloud Cover, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slash, yeah, and Timid Tiger. Timid Tiger. Hey, Instagram. Okay, let's see. I'm also using my old stand, so I'm not straight here. Straighten it up for you. Because truthfully, I have everything packed for England. I'm leaving for England on Tuesday. So the next 2 lives are going to be live from England. So you might want to watch out for that. Okay, let's see. How big are these? These are 2¼ by 2¼ the Blackberry Bliss. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 7. So let's see, 2¼ by 2¼ Yeah, I think it is Timid Tiger. So 1. I think they tried to get all the new colors in here because there was Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Strawberry Slush. The 2¼ Okay, this is 4. Hope I can get 3 out of this one. Oh yeah, I think I should be good. Okay, 5. 6, 7. Okay, so to recap, I need 3 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then 7 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 of the Blackberry Bliss or whatever color you're using for your mats. Okay, and then we need 7 2 by 2 squares of white. Did I bring white? Yes, I remembered to bring white. Packing for England and then packing for this at the same time. It's hard to remember everything. Okay, so 7 2 by 2. Let me make sure before I go too much further. Yeah, 2 by 2. So if you haven't already put that you're going on the event for the next 2 lives, you might want to go mark going so that you don't forget, and it'll send you the reminder. Because our lives are always fun. Because Vicky will be with me and will participate unless she falls asleep because it's 6 hours later in England. And we're usually tired from the day and so a little bit slap happy. So it's not to be missed entertainment. Okay, so 7 white pieces that are 2 by 2. Okay, now here comes the, I don't want to say tedious part, but what I did, you can see, is I went around and I cut out pieces from the sheet. And I did count. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I did cut out some already because I didn't think you want to watch me cut out 19 of these. So I have some cut out, but I'll cut out a few because I want to show you some issues. But aren't these cute? Darcy's wagging his tail because mom came home. He's happy. Hey, Anthony. Welcome. Are you guys at dinner? So you got to take a look at these. Some of them repeat. Some of them repeat and are flipped. Like, for instance, look at, you see this lemonade? It is mirror image of that one. So if, depending if you want it to be a specific way, keep in mind, there's some that are going one way, some that are going another way. Also, some of these they like overlap. Like, see here? See how these overlap? So you have to make some choices, or you can cut that out as one, but for my purpose, that didn't quite work. But let me take, I'd like to do that one, but it's right in the middle. I was trying to see if there's another good one. But what I was going to say is there are some of these single things like the orange and the lemon and the strawberry that you can use to cover any gaps. Like, for instance, I do have one that I already cut. If you look at this one, you see how the bottom wasn't there because there was something, an orange or something on that. You can put like an orange to cover up that spot. And then obviously this one's got cut off, so then I could put a, you know, a drink here. Come in. I could put a drink here like that. Come on in, Henry. Oh, I thought it was open. Oh, Mom had it propped open.
Sorry.
What, the diapers on that?
Diapers and still water.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Sorry for the intervention.
What's up, honey? What do you need?
That's just
I bought the baby diapers and that, and he came to get them.
Get another one.
Okay, so let's try and cut this one out.
Making an anthem phone call?
Actually, let's cut. Let's.
No matter your,
Oh, that power's still with her dad.
So let's see.
Yeah, we're just thinking it would be a caution, don't ask people.
about, perhaps. Where's she?
She went to concert with her
Oh.
friends.
Okay.
Get it up to 10 minutes. How was the video then? Was it good? Did.
I'm almost there.
it,
Okay. So let's cut the green
or
champagne or whatever out.
blueberries and stuff up here too.
Oh.
He's just been eating right along.
So I'm going to decide to make the champagne
That's winners.
full.
Surgery.
What next? I just.
Okay.
Been down to Becky and Ralph's and Becky.
Okay. And then if you want to use this one here,
So cute.
Yeah, put it on. She knows. I gave it to her earlier, but
you can
she said that to her.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'll
cut
see.
this out. I'm going to leave that little piece of orange in there, or you could cut it out, you know, it just depends. And then I'll cover it up with something. With a strawberry or Darcy's on the table.
Yeah, Henry was real impressed. He loves when he does that. Betty's down there barking. Ralph said they'll
Okay.
probably get thrown out for the barking dog.
Okay, let's see if I have enough, and then I can cut more as needed, but I wanted to show you how to do it. But see how like that one I cut out, I left the orange on there, and then I'm kind of not going to use that orange. There was a strawberry. I kind of wanted to throw the strawberry in there. Where was the strawberry? Here it is. Let's cut the strawberry. It's like a Build-A-Bar. Yeah, it is. It actually, that's a good. I should have labeled this scrapbook layout Build-A-Bar. I didn't think about that, but that is a good description. Yeah, it's actually, I was thinking it's kind of fun to like just cut all this out. Actually, it reminds me, I don't know if Judy's on, but her daughter's moving. Her son and daughter is moving, and they're moving out of the country, so they gave her all of their alcohol from their house. This looks like Judy. I should send this to Judy. This looks like her dining table. Okay. So let's start to assemble and see where we get. I'll try and keep this straightened out. Okay, did I bring adhesive? I think so. Let me look. Oh, now it's too much. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is, oh, but before I put these on there, something else that I did. Well, let me explain this a little bit. When I first made this, I thought it kind of needed something around here. And, you know, a lot of times what I do is I will mat the paper on a darker paper, you know, like, and show a 1/2 inch border around it. But I didn't want to do that for this one because there wasn't a lot of room for these, and I didn't want to make this even smaller. So it'd be more cramped. So I wanted to leave this at 12 by 12, but then I thought it really needed some kind of border. So I thought, what if we go old school and I draw like some kind of border around with a marker or whatever. But then I thought, well, this paper is kind of busy with the stripes, so I didn't do that. But then I had that old school vibe in my head for doing that. So what I ended up doing is doing the borders like I used to do when I first learned to scrapbook from Creative Memories like 25 years ago or however long it's been. Would it have been 25 years ago? It's longer than that. I was at Purdue.
I've been up there 25 years. So.
Yeah, I was at Purdue. So Megan was little because I started doing the kids scrapbook because Megan was not a baby, but
Is she in room 220?
I don't know. They're down the hallway, the other hallway. So I did it on here. So let's do that. And I would do that before you put the drinks on, because you see how my drinks kind of overlap that a little bit. So let's do that. And this is what I used to do. I'm going to sit down here for this. Oh, and before I do that, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link to the Celebratory Sips. I dropped the link to the suite, but the suite should list all of the products. Okay, so this is always what I would do. I mean, when I first learned to do scrapbooking from Creative Memories, this is back when they had only the 10 by 12 paper. You didn't put paper on the whole back of your scrapbook. And my lady was very much into pen work. So a lot of times my layouts basically just had a lot of pen work where you would draw designs or, whatever. Her motto was simple pages equals completed albums, which I really loved. So this is often what I would do back then is I would draw kind of a line, a square around it, like this. And it doesn't matter if you are straight or not. You don't have to get out your ruler for these kinds of things. And coming from me, the OCD chemist, that's saying something. Okay, then I would go around like this, sometimes with another color, sometimes, with whatever, and then just draw squiggles like this. And again, it doesn't matter if it's straight, not straight. I did kind of try to always start and end at the end of the square, but you don't have to. And then I would go in and just every once in a while put a little dots. So this is what she would mean by pen work. And a lot of times we would do this around the border of our pages or sometimes down the sides of each page, So I just decided to do that for these things. I was feeling kind of nostalgic, and so I thought, let's do that. I'm not doing it around the whole page, but I'm doing it just on these things, just on these squares. Because it was a little bit too, I thought, too plain with just the drink bottles and cups. Okay. And again, this is, the dots and that are up to you. How many of you learned to scrapbook back in the day with Creative Memories? I'm not plugging them or whatever, but you know what? I'm telling my story about how I became a scrapbooker. How many people became a scrapbooker with Creative Memories? I mean, was there any other places to do scrapbooking other than Creative Memories at the time? We had a local scrapbook store that we went to. and used a lot of, they had a whole wall of Mrs. Grossman stickers. Who remembers Mrs. Grossman stickers? They had a whole wall, and it was like the wall had rods, like curtain rods, all the way across the whole wall of the shop. And there was like, I don't know, 10 rows of them, and just all kinds of stickers. Anything you wanted. Fire trucks, corn, Mount Rushmore, anything. Skateboards. Diana, you started Creative Memories too? Yeah. I love scrapbooking. That's what got me into this. I started when I was in graduate school, and then continued after that. Okay. You can see how fast this is going, because one thing is I'm not being too particular. And I think that's the key, is you could take a lot of time to try and, get it perfect, but you don't know. Hi, Ruth. We're doing some flashback historic scrapbooking with my little pen work. Did anybody else do pen work on theirs, or was it just my lady who was really into that? She gave us these like printouts that had all these like designs and things that you could do. We did a lot, like say we had a picture like this, we would sometimes do pen work around just around the pictures. A lot of things like that. We had a lot of colors. I remember I had the primary color pack of the Creative Memories markers. Started scrapbooking around 2000. When did Creative Memories go under? What year was that? Does anybody remember? Because I mean, they must have still been going in 2000 if that's when Diana started, and she started with Creative Memories. I probably started in 1995. Megan was born in 1992. Maybe like 96, 95, 97, around in there, and like the mid to late 90s is when I started. Okay, look, we're on the last one. I mean, that took like 5 minutes to do, if even that, to do all of those. Everybody should tell their scrapbook starting story. How'd you start? When'd you start? I might post date. I might make a post one of these days, because our upline's always saying you're supposed to have more personal story, like tell your story. And so I guess that's what I'm doing now. Not on purpose. This wasn't supposed to be a tell your story live, but talking about this old school pen work brought it all kind of back. Okay, there we go. So you can see how easy that was. I did seven of these in just a couple minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to put them onto my mats. Okay. So these squares, if you join late, these squares are 2 by 2, the white ones, and the Blackberry Bliss squares are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Seems I'm getting a little bit more people on Saturday night than Sunday night. It's interesting.
Taking the milk down to. Right there.
Okay. Did she tell you her room?
Yeah, 220.
Okay. Okay. This is number 4, so we're almost there. You made cards using Stampin' Up! Products around 1997. Huh. I wonder how long, I don't know how long Stampin' Up's been around. I should look that up. Maybe I should know that. I never heard of Stampin' Up, truthfully. Oh, well, let me think. I might have heard of Stampin' Up. I used to go when I first moved to Chicago. This lady, a Creative Memories lady, would have like a Saturday crop, maybe every month or every couple months or something at a local school, and she would team up with a stamping lady. And so maybe that lady was Stampin' Up. But you guys, my friends know, I've said this a lot of times, I resisted getting into stamping because I didn't want to have a collection of stamps. So I never paid attention to the stamping lady. The only time I would buy a stamp is I would buy a Christmas stamp for my Christmas cards. And I did buy from her. I did buy my stamps from her. So I think it might be Stampin' Up, but I truthfully don't remember because I was focused on Scrapbook. Okay, so I'm putting my photo placeholders, my last few precious photo placeholders. Pretty soon I'm gonna be running out, guys, and having to make my own. Okay, so I don't have my mat to place these exactly, but this is about 1.5 inches. Let me see. I didn't bring a ruler. I meant to pack a ruler, but I didn't. Yeah, this is about 1.5 inches from the end, and I'd say maybe 3/4 of an inch from the top. But I'm just going to eyeball it and center it. Okay, and I'll place these down. Oh, and by the way, I'm mirror imaging the layout. I hope that's okay. Okay, this one. And then this last one. Okay. And it's hard to tell, but okay, that looks straight. I'm sitting down, so it's a little bit hard to tell. Okay. And now I'm just going to kind of place these asymmetrically. And this is really, really hard for me because you know I'm an OCD chemist. So you know, I wanted to do it like this. So what I did is I did 3 this way, and then kind of 3 this way, and then 1 here and 1 here. These 2 here are this one and this one is popped up on dimensionals, which I hope I brought dimensionals. I thought I did. Let me see. Well, I don't see dimensionals. But that's okay. So I'm going to place them first so that I, you know, kind of make sure that I like how they are before I start. I mean, you could put stuff down, but okay. And I did, this one was underneath, this one was on top, and then this one is up. Okay, and then this one, so I had 2 things. I came back this way. And I think these 2 do line up here. So, okay, and then this one here and this one here. Okay, I think it's good to have them laid out before you start gluing down. However, these 3 look in a line, which I don't think they really were before. Maybe it's, what's wrong?
I think just getting warmer in here.
Oh. Okay, so these 2 were similar. This one's here. Okay. I like kind of this look here. I don't know if you can tell here, I had a little, kind of my title here. So I did leave a little space in the corner. Stampin' Up! Was founded in 1988. Good to know. Thanks for looking that up, Diana. So what would that make it, like in a few years? That's going to be 40 years? Okay, so let's start kind of laying these out. So you can see I had the sangria here. Maybe I'll put this here. And then I had a little cup underneath. So let's see, maybe I'll put this here. Okay, love it, love it. Okay, I had the lemonade. I put the lemonade here, or whatever you want to call it. Do I have a lemonade drink? I could put this one there. I don't know, I think the other one was a tall one. I don't like that goes that way. How about, I don't know. I like to audition a lot of different pieces and then choose. I think maybe I'm gonna decide on this one. Okay, let's see. Let's do the champagne bottle here. And see, I think if you have it already laid out and you know what pieces are going to overlap, it helps a little bit so that you know where you want the space to be so that you can see all of your your piece of like your bottle or your cups or whatever. Okay. Like I'm gonna put this purple one over here because it's not gonna be covered up by that piece. Okay, put that there, this one beside it, and then how about this drink here? Okay. I'm gonna put this guy there. I think I'm gonna put that there. Put the orange there. The lemonade. Got nice sangria there. And the cup. So I'm gonna need to cut a few more out based on my spaces. Okay, let's see. I could cut this one out here, which I can put down there. Okay. Cut this out here. Okay. So this one I think I'm going to put here. I need something, I think medium size there. I don't think I've got, well, I don't have a Bloody Mary. I'm going to do this one, this Bloody Mary here. And then that orange thing. I don't have one of those. But I will tell you that's going to cut my paper in half. Which is okay. Epcot Food and Wine Vibes. That's good. Actually, no, I don't think we're going to be there during Epcot Food and Wine. But I do have many Disney trips that I could scrapbook where I'm using this. But you are right. Is there one that looks like the Grey Goose Martini? Because that's usually what I would get in France. I'm not a huge drinker, except as you know, when I fly, then the drinking comes out. Now my sister had a Bloody Mary last night when they went to dinner. And I do have a picture of her with, actually they had a picture of everybody. But the kids were there, so I don't really want to do a page with all the kids on it when it's all drinks. Okay, I need something here. Oh, yeah, I wanted this. How's the Zoom view, guys? How are you liking it? Is it distracting? You can see me probably cutting and such. Okay. Let's put this here. I might put this beside and then put this here. Okay. I don't know. I still think this needs one more thing. Let's find one more little thing. What have I not cut out? I know I don't have one of these with the, oh, this might be cool. And it's got one of the orange spiral twists. I'm getting to the point where cutting some of these out makes the paper into smaller pieces. And then, like I said, you may or may not need to cover some spots that are, if there's overlapping, like say I was going to cut this off, I could put an orange like there to cover it up, but I think I'm going to leave it on depending on how it looks once I put it on there. If it doesn't look good, then I'll cut it off and put the strawberry or orange to cover it up. Okay. I don't normally sit during my lives because my table that I do my lives on is so high at my house. I mean, it's not high, but for a short person like me, it's too tall to sit at. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. I feel like there's like a lot going on there. Might do this instead. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Yeah, there's the leg also on what I'm doing, and then on the video, and it's pretty significant leg. Okay, so let's just attach these. But in this font, like I said, it only takes the paper. This is all done with the paper. So it's actually a really good layout to do on the road. That's why I kind of planned it for this week. Okay. And I did kind of alternate that, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down as I do them. Let's do this one. I would have done a layout like this when I first started with Creative Memories. However, these would have all been stickers, right? I would have bought a sheet of Mrs. Grossman drink stickers or whatever, and put this together. So it is kind of an old school layout, except for the asymmetric design. I think is a little bit more modern, but okay, let me check Instagram before I. Okay, hi everybody on Instagram. So like I said, next week I will be in England, hopefully, if I get on the plane. And the live, we're doing the heirloom, I think it's called Heirloom Wishes card kit. And it will be live from the Jane Austen Festival, so in England. So that's why I picked that card kit because it kind of looked something like Jane Austen would do. Very romantic and I don't know, elegant. So I thought it was perfect to do. And then the next week, I'm doing a junk journal, and I'm doing like all of the junk we pick up on our trip, like tickets and I don't know, receipts. And I'm going to show you how to use this new picture printer called Sprocket. We are going to print some of our pictures that we've taken on the trip to put on our pages too. Are all of the pictures sticky pictures, or can you get some of the paper, some of that photo paper to be regular photo paper? Vicky, do you know? Oh, that's a good idea. Well, maybe we'll be dressed up and read and see where. Because actually we are touring Winchester and that day. So we will have our outfits on. We're going in full Regency regalia. So maybe we'll keep our outfits on. Although it'll be pretty late, but we will do it maybe. So Don, if Don's on or Vicky, do you know, because it's Vicky Sprocket that we're going to be using. Are all of the things from a Sprocket, you're not sure if they have nonstick paper? Okay, so what I wanted to show you here is see how this drink has got the bottom corner missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this little strawberry there to kind of cover that. So depending on how, how much you use pieces that are overlapping and cut up, you can always hide it with thing behind it or a strawberry like this. So I'm going to put the strawberry right there. And you'll never know, right? Yeah, so we're going to be printing some pictures and then putting it right on our junk journals. I think this one went over here. Okay. Okay. I know I've been calling this sangria. Who thinks this looks like the Kool-Aid guy? I keep wanting to call it the Kool-Aid guy, but I know he's the sangria. Does anybody have a sprocket? I'll show you during that week. I'll post a link so you can see what it's like. And I'm going to tuck this kind of behind. Okay. And like I said, I would have popped 2 of these up, and maybe when I get home, I'll try and take that off and pop it up, but I don't see that I packed any dimensionals, which surprises me, but okay, we're on the last one. Put the little champagne bottle, and I did bring some champagne here. I got some Blanc de Blanc from Cooper's Hawk. Although I gave that to my aunt. We're not having it at the celebration because it's at a park and a picnic shelter, and we're not allowed to have alcohol, so we won't be using it there. You know what? I want to move this over a little bit. There we go. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, now the last thing, as you can see here, I have, oh, Dee has one too. I forgot. I think Dee was the OG. Wasn't Dee the OG one? Okay, you can see here I have a bigger drink there. So I cut all of these from this paper that's got the small drinks. But I showed you that one of these papers has, I think it's this one. Okay. One of these papers has got these large drinks. So for instance, if cutting all of these out was too much for you, then, you know, you could cut like one of each of these and, you know, put it onto here. Okay, so I'm going to cut one. I think I'm going to do the green. I really want to do this green drink here. What's wrong?
Maybe it's coming up.
Um,
Just want to make sure that door.
Our room is like
It's at Grand Central.
a Grand Central Station. Sorry for all the interruptions, but we've got so many people around here. Except I haven't seen my daughter, Michaela, all day. Well, to be fair, they didn't get here till 4:30 or so. So Anthony, if you're still listening on Instagram, I haven't got to see you. I haven't got to see you guys, but they might be tired. They flew in from Portland last. They took the red eye from Portland last night. Got in this morning at like 6 a.m. or something to Chicago. They flew to Chicago and then they drove from Chicago to Ohio, another 7 hours. So they really have had a long flight, a long trip. However, they went to dinner with Megan and Henry and the kids. Okay, let's get this. Okay, one more side here. Okay, and then I might put it maybe down here just to be, because I don't want to put it right here so it's right across from it, but I'm gonna put it here. But what I wanted to show you is you could, you know, you could just cut one of the bigger ones and put it on each of these, right? And actually, remember that this picture? Let me see if I can find it. Remember that card that I said I wanted to make? Let's see if I can find it. This card here. I think it would be fun to have the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, the purple. Actually, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you could do all of them. The red, the orange, the peach, the yellow, the green, the light purple, and the purple. That would be perfect on this, wouldn't it? So if you don't want to cut out all of, you know, these small ones, you could do that. So I'm going to put this here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive down here because I will pop it up, I guess, later. Okay, then lastly, let's add the dots, these gems. And these gems are transparent adhesive backed dots. I bought these when they went with like the To Market suite, but it's got the Blackberry Bliss. I didn't bring my Picket tool, but let's see if I can use my scissors here. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think one more over here. 5. Okay, and like I said, on this one, I put this, I think this shape is from the Citrus Blooms, if I'm not mistaken. This shape I cut from Citrus Blooms. And then the Cheers is from the stamp set. So I thought about doing another one of these here and putting the to you or to us or whatever. But what I thought I might do is do a couple journal strips there. Okay. So I'm going to use some of these, the smaller ones. So I'm just going to put a few journal strips here. And these ones are self-adhesive journal strips, but you could just cut out, 1/4 inch white paper. And it'd be fine. Okay, there we go. I really like this layout. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this layout? It was all done just from the paper. So one paper pack, well, it doesn't take the whole paper pack, but I'm saying I only used the one paper pack and I used partial one sheet for this and then, the sheets for the background. So I didn't need to, I did stamp here with the cheers, but you don't have to. You don't have to use it, but I wanted to do something different for this set. And I thought that this was kind of fun. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Diana. Thanks, Ruth. So I had fun doing it. Like I said, next week is the what is it called? Well, I don't know. It's got to be live from England. It's the card heirloom expressions, I think, card kit. We're gonna put that together in England at the Jane Austen Festival in our Jane Austen Regency clothing. So, and Vicky, if you're still on, if you haven't gone to bed yet, we should do it kind of stamping. What's that show called in England? The Stampin' Scrapbook. It's not Stampin' Scrapbook Expo. The stamp, whatever. They have like a QVC type scrapbooking show. Hey, Megan. But they do it facing the people. So maybe we'll have to do it that way. So you won't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. We will be in our Regency garb for the next live. At least I will, and I'll try and convince Vicky to stay in hers as well. So I hope to see you next week, and I hope you like the layout. Don't forget about the specials. The buy one, get one 50% off special is something that you really want to look into because it's a great deal. And then there's still kits left for the album retreat, the virtual album retreat, which is the first time that Stampin' Up is doing it. The people from Close to My Heart, I don't know if they kind of talked them into doing it or suggested that this was good for them. So we want to make a good show for them so that they'll do it again. Okay. England Live. Yes, Michaela, England Live. Hey, I was just talking about you that I haven't seen you yet. You haven't come to see your mother. But we're going to be live from England in our Regency garb next week, doing our heirloom expressions cards that look like something Jane Austen might do. So, okay, I will talk to you guys next week. Bye. I'll try and post pictures while we're there. Bye.